For many people around the world, Japan is a fascinating place. You may have seen it in movies, documentaries, or on travel videos here on YouTube. But even if you think you know what Japan is like, there are still many everyday things that completely surprise first-time visitors. Some of these are small details that most Japanese people probably don't even think about anymore. But for someone arriving from overseas for the first time, they can be genuinely shocking, or at least surprising. So, in this video, I'm going to share 7 things that often surprise people the first time they visit Japan. The streets are incredibly clean. One of the first things visitors notice when they arrive in Japan is how clean everything is. You can walk through major cities, some of the largest in the world, like Tokyo or Osaka, and see streets that are remarkably tidy. There's very little litter, very few overflowing garbage bins, and even busy areas somehow look neat and organized. What makes this even more surprising is that public garbage cans are actually quite rare. Visitors often find themselves walking around holding an empty drink bottle or snack wrapper for quite a while before finding a place to throw it away. So how do the streets stay so clean? Part of the answer is cultural habits. People in Japan are generally taught from a young age to take their garbage home with them rather than throw it away in public places. Schools also emphasize cleaning up after yourself. In fact, many students help clean their own classrooms and school buildings every day. So, the result is something that really stands out to visitors. Large cities that feel remarkably clean and orderly. Trains are extremely quiet. Another thing that often surprises people is the atmosphere on trains. In many countries, public transportation can be quite noisy. People talk loudly, answer phone calls, or listen to music without headphones. But in Japan, train cars are usually very quiet. Even during rush hour, when trains are packed with commuters, the overall atmosphere is pretty calm. Most people are either looking at their phones, reading, or simply resting quietly. You'll rarely hear someone having a loud conversation, and talking on the phone is generally discouraged. For first-time visitors, stepping onto an extremely crowded train and hearing almost complete silence can feel surprisingly unusual. But after a few days, many travelers say they begin to appreciate it. A quiet commute can actually be quite relaxing. Convenience stores are surprisingly good. In many countries, convenience stores are mainly places to grab a quick snack or maybe a drink. But in Japan, convenience stores are something entirely different. Chains like 7-Eleven, Lawson, and Family Mart sell a huge variety of food that is surprisingly high quality. You can find things like rice balls, noodle dishes, sandwiches, salads, desserts, and even full hot meals. And the quality often surprises visitors. Many people expect convenience store food to be mediocre, but in Japan it's often very good and very affordable. Convenience stores also offer all kinds of useful services. You can pay bills, withdraw cash, print documents, and sometimes even buy event tickets. While they are a bit more expensive than similar options at drugstores or supermarkets, for travelers especially, these stores quickly become one of the most useful parts of daily life in Japan. Perfectly organized lines. Another small detail that surprises many visitors is how orderly lines are. In Japan, people line up for almost everything. Train platforms often have markings on the ground showing exactly where passengers should stand while waiting to board. When the train arrives, people allow passengers to exit first before calmly boarding in order. You'll also see orderly queues at bus stops, elevators, restaurants, and many shops. Even in busy places, people tend to follow the line system carefully. For visitors coming from places where crowds sometimes push forward or compete for space, this level of organization can feel quite impressive. Vending machines are everywhere. Japan is famous for vending machines, but many visitors are still surprised by just how many there are. You'll see them on street corners, outside small shops, in train stations, sometimes even in quiet residential areas. Japan has millions of vending machines selling a huge variety of drinks, including coffee, tea, soda, and bottled water. Some machines even sell hot drinks during colder months. The surprising part is not just the number of machines, but how reliable and well maintained they usually are. They're rarely vandalized and they're typically stocked and functioning properly. For visitors, it often feels like you're never more than a few minutes away from a nice cold drink. Some of them even unlock automatically in the event of a natural disaster, so people can get drinks freely. Just look for this sign. Cash is still very common. Japan is known as a technologically advanced country, so many visitors assume everything will be cashless. But in reality, cash is still widely used. Credit cards are accepted in many places, especially in larger cities, but smaller restaurants, shops, and local businesses often prefer cash. This surprises travelers who come from countries where digital payments are now the norm. The good news is that Japan is also known for being very safe, so carrying some cash is usually not a concern. Actually, a lot of cash is not a concern. Convenience stores and post offices also have ATMs that work with many international cards. Look for this sign, making it easy for visitors to withdraw money if needed. Plastic food displays outside restaurants. One final thing that often fascinates visitors is something you'll see outside many restaurants. In Japan, it's common to find plastic models of the dishes displayed in a window or display case. These food replicas look incredibly realistic. In fact, some are so detailed that they look almost edible. The purpose is simple. They help customers see exactly what the restaurant serves before going inside. This is especially helpful for visitors who may not read Japanese. Instead of trying to translate a menu, you can simply look at the display and point to the dish you want. It's just a small idea, but it's incredibly useful, and it's something many travelers wish existed in other countries as well. These are just a few of the things that often surprise visitors the first time they experience daily life in Japan. Some of them are cultural habits, some are clever systems, and some are simply small details that make everyday life a little smoother. But together, they help create an experience that feels quite different from many other places in the world. If you visited Japan before, I'd be curious to know what surprised you the most during your first trip. And if you're planning to visit someday, keep an eye out for these things when you arrive. You might be surprised by just how many small details make Japan such an interesting place to explore. Thanks for watching, and as always, if you are interested in anything about Japan, please don't forget to like and share this video, and subscribe to the channel for more interesting tidbits from Japan.